neighbors protecting neighbors. That's essentially what this has become here in Port-au-Prince, just to survive. And this is one community that we're in that feels rather safe. And that's just because several blocks out, you've got perimeter after perimeter that is set up by the community and works with the police. So the police essentially allow the community to do what they need to do to set up these blocks at entries and exits. And the community in turn helps empower the police so that they can then do their patrols. But for many of them, it's about setting these up to block what is not far from here, and that is an expanding gang territory, one that has been trying to encroach on this community in particular many times over the past year or so. And it got to a point where community members, according to one police commander, had to take justice into their own hands. And they were able to take into custody 14 suspected gang members. They then executed those gang members right in the middle of the street. It was a very public display, but for them it was to send a message to other gang members to keep out of their community. It hasn't stopped the gangs from trying to push further and further in. But for the folks who live here, they say everyday life has gotten increasingly difficult. We see a few street vendors, but not many. When we were here 3 weeks ago, many of the sidewalks were filled with street vendors. Folks now simply don't have things to sell. And so they've resorted to trying to secure as best as possible, using the police's help, some of the supply lines, trying to bring water and food into areas like this. I asked some of the community members, how is it that they're able to stay afloat? And he said, we rely on each other. Essentially, they will have some of these community members go door to door, collecting food, maybe some money, some water, and then that provides some subsistence for the folks who are securing these communities. If you ask who's in charge, they look around and they say no one. That's why they've taken matters into their own hands. If you ask, what do you need? What can help Haiti in this moment? The first thing that most folks have told us is for the international community to not intervene in the way they have in the past. Instead, they want help in the form of aid, but they also say that they need some sort of security backup. What that looks like, they didn't really articulate. Folks really didn't want to go into too much detail in trying to explain what that added security might come in the form of. But for most here, it's just about trying to figure out how to get to tomorrow and knowing that tonight could bring another round of violence. David Culver, CNN, Port-au-Prince, Haiti.